Hi.
The Mrs. Doubtfire hour. Oh, goodness. Hopefully, y'all are doing good. I was chit-chatting a little bit, trying to tippy-tap back and forth a little message, but, you know, I can't type very well anymore with my hands. But, hey, hopefully you guys are doing good. And thanks, Barry, from Storms, Radio, and Cats. And we love his cats because my daughter loves cats.
Oh, really? You could have one. Because
No.
they're getting on my nerves today.
If you want to drive them up here from where you're at, then bring them
Yeah,
on. But you got to take them
I,
back with you.
I think I have a Matchbox Jeep I can get into.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday, supposedly. It's just another day, really, that we're blessed to be here. That's how I look at it. So, of course, Raka, thank you for being here. You're always the first one here. You get the award for being here first out of all the live streams, 99.99% of the time. So, you have a special award. And Sue Me, it's nice to see you. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well.
Cute cats, I mean.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we like all the fur babies. And Lee, it is nice to see you, sir.
Hey, Lee.
Hopefully you are. I know you are the busiest man ever that I have ever heard of.
I
And
bet he's busy and asleep, too.
you know what? You probably multitask while you sleep because you have the busiest schedule of anyone that I know of, online and offline. So props to you, sir, for all the things that you do. So thank you for stopping in and hanging out with us for a while. And fuzzy lounging pants on. Yes, of course, the comfy pants are a must. Kombucha for your gut health. Amen to that. And learning begin. Well, thank you. Uh, I didn't get a chance. I wanted to post it because I labeled this one about, I still have the same after Armageddon because pretty much that is the scenario in our opinion or my opinion. Some preppers agree,
Might
some
as well.
disagree that we don't know what's coming our way, so we always have to prepare for anything under the sun. I My last video I just posted or uploaded about, some extra non-food items to have on hand. I talked about your disposable products. And thank goodness I invested into having water storage containers in my home because, surprise, wake up in the morning and there's no water because there's a water main break in the area where we live. And that is not something that 99.9% of the people that live in this direct area, which is thousands of people, they were freaking out because they have nothing reserved for any type of emergency whatsoever. And it's not scary to me because I was prepared. I just pulled out the jugs. I have one in the bathroom, I have one in the kitchen, for all the things. And then, of course, we had a 48-hour boil alert for using it for drinking or cooking, which I wasn't going to be doing that. I wasn't worried about that. And but the amount of people on the place where we live has its own website for communications. If somebody wants to sell something or needs some help with something or looking for someone to do some work on their homes or whatever it is, but they were going nuts. That is why we prepare for
Yeah.
things. And, I also like the other reason that we have the little group for here is because there are some people that charge very little money to come and check heat tape, which is underneath our mobile homes. Especially because, thankfully not thankfully, it's been raining, but it's not snow. The four-letter word I don't like, which is snow. And I know I live in the wrong state. But I see that you guys were talking about some food items, and yeah, that sounds good. I like cinnamon sugar. I grew up eating cinnamon sugar toast for breakfast because that was an option for a meal. That's how simple the things were back in the day. This has been 40, 50 some years ago. you know So, yeah, I kind of just, spent 50 for so many years. My
Mhm.
birthday's coming up in a few weeks, so, well, actually, I have a month from now, I think. My birthday's about a month away, so I'll be
We
25.
really should be preparing like it's going to happen tomorrow because it could.
You know, I have to say that having things stocked up just because, there's some people, I mean, I would do watch some decluttering channels, which is good because some people think they're prepping, but they're really just hoarding stuff, which is why I shared a video about, are you a prepper or a hoarder? Because if you don't ever use your gear or never test it or never even open it out of the package, that's just stuff that is in your way. And it's just, here you are, we deal with a little dingy dog there. The dogs are not happy because they want to be on camera too.
Mhm.
So, but it's been a crazy couple weeks going on. So yeah, all I see is tortillas, deep fried and covered with cinnamon and sugar. It sounds like a churro.
Mhm.
I don't know how to make those per se,
Poor man's
but
Cheryl. Yeah.
yes, okay. Well, that sounds good right now to me. A snack sounds good right now. Oh my goodness, the dogs are. They are gonna. They are gonna be the little ones being a pistol. So
Oh, my cats are right there with me.
yes, yes. Hey, prepping nurse, how are you? Hope you're doing good. We used to call those roly polies. Yes, you know what? I have no idea. We used to, some of the things we grew up eating, people don't even know what those are anymore. So, but nice to see you. Glad you could stop in. And Jan, thanks for being here, as
Hey,
always.
Jan.
Appreciate you so much. And thank you. I did get your email, and I don't know if I replied or not. If I didn't, I will now because I reminded myself. I'll make a note right now if I didn't. So I have a little sometimers disease going on right now with all the projects and requirements of my time and energy are. It seems like this time of year it always happens. It's like everybody wants everything right now, and they've had a whole year to do it.
Mm,
Anybody else have that? So let's see what else I can. Oops. Yes, I should click off of that thingy. See, I'm not good with all the clicking. Let me see. Excuse me.
whoa.
I'm trying to check all the things on here. What's that say? Treating it as about ooh, creepy cruds. Yeah, you know, I I'm concerned with that because that is a little that's one of those feelings that you have like, okay, the new year, it seems like, oh, it's good. It's a new start for another year. I feel like it's like another My Sharona time frame coming up because, and it's not because of, well, I think it's something to do with it being an election year, but
Mhm.
probably a little bit more than that, I guess, is why I have some concerns here and there about all the things. So, Jan's saying hello to you, Barry, which I'm
Hi.
sure you've seen that, but hey, how you doing there in Nebraska? Because, and I've never been out in that side of the United States at all. I've been in California only at the airport on the way to Hawaii when I was young, very young. So, yeah, trying to say no, that is not an easy thing to do, especially when you are very passionate about things like you are, Lee, Cold War prepper. You are very passionate about helping people and doing things and all the things, and you kind of overschedule yourselves too much. I've done that before in the past with different organizations that I did volunteer work with, and I had to kind of cut back because I was losing my hair a little bit. Hey, CUC farmer, watching from the other side of the yes, Michigan. A few more things needed to be done on your remodel. Amen to that. I am I am ready to be done with having to take care of the things here in this place, my money pit as I call it. It has its own name, money pit, and that's what
Mhm.
it's been.
Yeah.
But I have one more room of flooring to do, and right now I am winterizing a whole bunch of stuff because I don't have heat in a couple areas of this place because The ductwork is messed up, and yes, the yawning. Thank you. I'm gonna yawn now.
Sorry,
You're fine.
I should have warned you.
You're fine. Trust me, I have not fell asleep before 3 to 3:30, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning the last 3 nights. And I think it's just because of this weather and the time change. It's dark super early, like 6 p.m. It gets dark already.
Hmm.
And my dog is squeaking her toy because she wants attention. Thank you, Jan, for sharing Cold War's Lee's channel. Appreciate that. And yeah, at an atomic clock is the closest to midnight it has ever been. I do not like time changes, the seasons changing. I do appreciate the fact that we don't have snow at this point in time, but because I said that, it's going to snow tomorrow. I'm Irish with no luck. That's what I keep saying all the time. Hi, Margaret. How are ya? Thanks for being here. Oh, let me see. I'm trying to. What's that say? Are those FEMA semis close to you? You know what? Supposedly it was an error, a misspoken thing said by the person. The FEMA things up in northern Michigan in Oscoda, which I used to spend my summers up in Oscoda area and Alpena, and I have family up in that area. Also, I was in the military as well. I did not. I have been to that base that is decommissioned, which is not technically decommissioned, which I learned that a couple days ago from Barry. But yeah, they are not staging things there. But what they were doing was looking for, I guess, a location that they may potentially want to use in Michigan to store something in a centralized area. If you do a Google search about FEMA in Michigan, there's like 15 new articles stating that it was the person who is no longer on the board of the whatever it was up there. That person, he's on numerous stations up north saying that he misspoke and he misunderstood the reason why FEMA was looking into using that Air Force base, which they're not using. They have no intentions of storing semis. They're not sending semis up there, but FEMA did come and look at the location, but they were only looking at various places for potential options to have. So the dogs are going to have a heyday tonight. Please, the dogs are going to drive me crazy. But they are looking at all areas throughout the United States, besides Hawaii, obviously, and Alaska. I don't know, Alaska might be included. Hawaii's a little harder to get some semis over there. But
Yeah.
they're looking at all options for them to have more areas to store emergency items and gear or whatever it is FEMA has that they decide that they want to disperse if and when there happens to be something that happens. So Michigan is close to X amount of states, obviously. We have, Wisconsin, Minnesota, we have, Ohio, Kentucky, everybody pretty much all around the Mitten State underneath us is, who they would be considering to cover emergencies that would happen, like when the train with the chemicals exploded in Ohio and caused all the havoc or whatever. So it was just a dog, you're gonna drive me crazy. She's getting his stuff right now. They just are supposedly looking to use unused areas to store the things that they have on hand, which actually I would think they would have nothing on hand right now, because supposedly everybody that was affected by the hurricanes and all the different places and all the natural disasters that have went on, I would assume that they don't have anything left.
Yeah.
But that is obviously not correct. So, and Hey, Chief Prepper. How are you? Howdy. Nice to see you. I'm slow on the things here. Let's see. Just came home to a letter that your water house had her service line. Yeah, water issues. Oh my goodness. I'm just so surprised that so many people in here is ridiculous that they have no idea to have some stuff on hand in case something happens. In general, we grew up that way. Our area, if you're over 40 years old or even 35 plus years old, you know how we grew up. You know, we had stuff on hand, and if we had something happen and we didn't have stuff on hand, either your family members did, your cousins, the people on your street were mostly your relatives when you grew up. It's just, I don't know. I'm still surprised that people are not getting it. And thank you, Teresa. Hello and welcome, and thanks for reminding people to hit the like button. I appreciate
Yeah.
you. I
Mash that
appreciate
like
you.
button.
I appreciate you very much. And oh my goodness, I am just, my list has gotten really long between now and the new year. I tell you that right now. Besides paperwork stuff, which I'm used to doing for the most part when it comes to my young adult. But this time gets super duper busy because there's holiday times. Everybody wants all your time between, whether it's government stuff, your disability benefits, like my daughter, or her school as a disabled adult in her school and stuff. Everybody wants you like right now. And it's like, you've had a whole year. You've had a whole year to do all this stuff. But no, we're going to do it right now. Hello. Rodriguez. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Nice to see you. Welcome. Hopefully everybody, hey McBean, I'm trying to say hi as fast as I can because I'm bad. That's why Barry's here to keep me. He's got to whip me on the other side of the camera, tell me to keep it together.
It's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Behind the scene person. Hi, Coffee First. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing good. Hopefully you're prepping. Hopefully everybody's been prepped up for a long time and we are beating the inflation stuff that is to come because I was just complaining that I can't even make a salad from anything in the store because number one, I got to double check and triple check and quadruple check because everything is rotten. It's full of bugs. I mean, I don't know how many dead bugs I found in the lettuce that I tried to clean to have for a salad this evening for my dinner. It was, and I paid, it's not like I'm getting stuff out of a dumpster that's been there for a week. This is what I have to pay for in the store. I'm getting really ticked off about that. Can you tell a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit. But yeah, I mean, hello, Celtic Grandma. Nice to see you. And
Have a seat, sir.
I'm trying to keep up with all the things. I am not good at doing that, but I'm doing my best.
I'm going to answer Lee's question.
Oh, sure.
This was actually a review radio. This is the TalkPod A36 Plus. They released like, I don't know, beginning of 2024. It's this one's GMRS. This radio, for some reason, they thought they could get by with like slipping it in there as a hand GMRS, but we'll not go there. But I do have my GMRS license, so that's what it's set for. I'm actually pretty happy with it. Can listen to Aircraft on one band and GMRS on the other.
Yeah, I'm looking for something like that just because I've tried with some inexpensive like walkie-talkie things or whatever, just in case, because I'm at home 99% of the time or whatever. My daughter goes to work and school unless it's summertime, and otherwise I'd take her to and from work and whatever else. So, but if communications were cut off, I'm trying to find something within my budget, which is always hard to do because things that, I mean, yes, you can get some cheaper items. I've tried a couple different types of less expensive, just walkie-talkies in between like where I'm sitting and where her bedroom is in the back of the house. I mean, we have 1,900 square feet here. So it's like, we tried to practice with that, but it doesn't, I want something where if I'm in my vehicle someplace or she's at school and something's happening and I'm wanting to contact her because I'm on my way to go pick her up wherever she's at, I have not found anything affordable for my budget that I think is worth, number one, putting the money out for it, trying to test it out and see if it actually works, and or if she can understand how to use it as well. Turning it on, keeping it, she's good with her cell phone. She texts me all day long sometimes, but it's usually not about any emergency type of a thing. But I just want to make sure that she is okay. Hey, Mary Peterson, how are you? Thanks for being here. Hey, KP.
There's more review, like more review videos coming out in the future because obviously winter's coming along and my drum flying is going to be grounded for a while. So, of course, most of them I'm buying out of my own pocket. So
yeah, I've
you
tried
never
a
know.
few.
I don't need more walkie-talkies, so you never know. One might just a box might appear in your,
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody wants to send me one, they could. But
I'll send you two.
I do have some more exciting information, which will you guys will all, whoever's here tonight, you guys will hear more about it as soon as I get to go ahead and share all the info with you, and it's really exciting. I know Barry is the only one that knows, so just because he's my backup person here, but yeah, everybody is interested. Some people are getting more interested in alternatives for communication that don't require, they have the satellite phones or the satellite. Pretty much they can GPS you, because I watch like Outdoor Boys where he gets dropped off in the middle of Alaska or crazy places.
Oh, no.
And he's out there freezing his butt off, building shelters in snow or whatever he's doing. I mean, he used to be a lawyer, but he has really increased his skills, but he also has the financial ability, obviously, to continue doing what he's doing, which is great. Teaching people how to survive in general, but he goes to the extreme. And I'm telling you, you got to make his bread that he talks about. If you haven't tried that, y'all got to do it. It's basically bread flour, some yeast, and some water. Oh my gosh. Put some honey and butter. Whew. That stuff.
Now you're
oh my
talking.
gosh. Everybody in the world needs to try that. But
Do you stop pressing buttons?
you know what? My fur babies are just not wanting to cooperate. I just took the itchy one to the groomers yesterday. Oh, you think I was killing her taking her. Oh my goodness. They act like they're dying. Yes, the quality of fresh produce. Oh my goodness, sue me. I tell you, I mean, I eat very simple meals. From the food, if anybody knows anything about me for the years I've been on here, we don't eat fancy schmancy. I don't cook gourmet. We don't have a steak every night for dinner. It's just, you gotta be simple. And I would think that if people are prepping up their food and water and storage and gear, you need to use it. You have to open the packages, try the foods, open a number 10 can of the Augustin Farms anything soup wise number 1, because it is not tasty. You need 15 spices in there to make it palatable. Is it calories? Does it have some kind of texture to it? Yes. Are you going to like it? I can't say no. I can't say yes. I can say no.
You'll be on the fence with that one, yeah.
Yeah, I have.
They're like MREs. It's hit
I would
miss.
rather have an MRE than
Well, I would too, but
yeah. I mean, the MREs now are like Taj Mahal compared to when Cold War prepper and myself were in eating MREs and rations.
yeah.
I mean, I used to trade all kinds of things and trade guard duty to get foods that I could actually stand to eat in our MREs. Like if it was the hot dog, the beans and weenies or whatever, and an MRE, I was all about that because I was a vegetarian when I actually joined the military, and for many years afterwards. But oh my goodness gracious, the prices in the store are ridiculous, ridiculous. I can't even say ridiculous enough. That is, what does that say? Started prepping since 2008, and still, amen to that. Very good. Hopefully, I mean, it'd be nice to, I wish I could just talk to people instead of having to read a lot of things sometimes, because it's like, what made you start prepping in 2008 instead of sooner or whatever? It's like, but luckily, if you did start prepping in 2008, hopefully 2020, my Sharona stuff was not that terrible for you, because some of us didn't have it quite as bad as the people that had no clue, that they, tippy tap their card on, Google Pay stuff or whatever crazy stuff they do. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't do any of that Cash App, whatever stuff. I can't handle that. So, never say never. I had to dumpster dive for food. You know what? I dumpster dived as well. I have videos from that were horrible back in when I first started on my channel. I used to go through and dumpster dive. I dumpster dived at Aldi. I used to get better food out of the dumpster at Aldi than I did in the store at Aldi. Excuse me. And then pet stores with the pet foods. I have videos of my entire truck being filled from things being thrown, brand new things. This was before they started demolishing everything in the dumpsters so that people can't use it. They make it like toxic or whatever. I donated about, I want to say, I don't know if they told me the number of pounds that I donated of food items for cats and dogs throughout the whole entire county. I mean, there was so much that some of them could only take so much food from me when I would take it. But that was before. Now they ruin everything. They make sure they put chemicals on there and poisons and things that you can't take the chance to do with anymore. But dumpster diving, I've had many meals from the dumpster, and Aldi was a good one. And their dumpsters are easy to get into. Well, not anymore. They changed those as well, except for one of them that I know of. So, but trust me, I grew up very in low income family. I started working when I was like 10, babysitting to try and make money. So I am very familiar with growing up, being broke. And, hey, ready McCaddy. Thank you for entering the room. Or
was that a warning?
What's that?
Or was that a warning? I don't know why I have echo.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about somebody saying something bad already in here, getting kicked out. I don't know. Oh, is there feedback?
It
says so. Feedback on there. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe they could hear my echo. Can you hear it?
Veteran meal, combat, ready to eat. Yeah, tuna head. Oh, tuna was not my favorite at all. Oh my goodness. Tuna fish, because in the heat in Alabama when I grew up in Michigan, I mean, your food did not taste good to me. I mean, I can't even think of some of the things anymore because it was kind of grody. But I changed the topic of this. I don't know. I'm sure the majority of us older people know what the movie Red Dawn is all about. I miss Patrick Swayze, especially from his various movies that he's had out there in the years. But it is free on the YouTubes. If you look in the free movie section, Red Dawn has been in there for a long time, and I love that one to watch for reminders and just general information, because like I said, the youngins have no idea about that kind of a situation. Yes, the movie is old. It's old school, which I like. I'm sorry, I gotta read that one. You're a Y2K dude. Handcuffed, locked, and loaded. Yes, amen to that. I actually used to manage and run a computer consulting company that we did Y2K conversions for computers because the world was going to stop in 1999, just like Prince stated years earlier in his song.
Yeah.
This thing, if you don't know who Prince is, you're too young. So, excuse me. But yeah, the original, yeah, the original Red Dawn, Jan, is on YouTube for free. So if you want to watch it, I watch a lot of all my movies that I watch a lot are all free. I don't pay to watch movies. I have DVDs on my old DVD player, the big, portable ones or whatever. Red Dawn, yes, great movie in its day. It's still good. It is still good for ideas because when I sit and watch the beginning of that, of course, can you imagine if we were sitting in our high schools back in the day and we see parachutes and equipment falling from the sky? Well, there's a teacher talking about something, blah, blah, blah. And whammo, they're taking people out. I would have pooped myself. Number one, I'd poop myself. I'm sure everybody would. And you would hope that you could get the heck out of there like they did. But of course, when they go to the one father's gas station / store, they're complaining about, oh, make sure you grab toilet paper. I'm not going to be using leaves to wipe or whatever they said. Guess what? That is the last thing I'd be thinking about was be toilet paper if I'm getting shot at. I mean, yes, it's an important thing, but there's other things that will be way more important than just having some toilet paper. And some dog just is really
I
stinky.
cannot wear earbuds.
I can't wear earbuds. I can't. Well, I do if I have to, but I don't like it. Not realistic as far as airborne invasion, but love the over. Yes, I mean that was from a long time ago. I mean, if we look at that, the way that movie was made in our day, that was a good production back then. But yes, nowadays, no, it's not going to be realistic because they're going to be doing a whole lot. I mean, we have to worry about so many other things nowadays compared to that original movie, which, I mean, I'm more worried about us getting nuked or, these other companies or just our country in general being invaded by whatever. We've been invaded anyway from people that do not belong in our country and they're not here legally and they are doing things to interrupt our country and our people and our daily lives, which I highly disagree with. That makes me very upset. Let me see. Let me see. The original was better movie, but the remake had more realistic tactical. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we grew up, if you had a shotgun in your house, there was one in your home for personal protection and or hunting. Now, people that are, investing in things for personal protection, yes, we have a lot better stuff now. I mean, my brothers thought it would be funny for me being the little sister, the baby sister. They were 5 and 8 years older than me. They thought it'd be funny for me to stand on a chair and fire a shotgun when I was like 8. And obviously you can tell that I'm sure you can imagine me standing on a chair firing a 12 gauge, and so yes, that's how my brother, but you know what? That's fine. It made me tougher. I tell you that. Yes, I can, now they have some movies that I see, they look so fake and AI made that I don't enjoy them. I would rather watch an 80s or 70s flick because they're so raw and just, true to life for that time frame. But yes, of course, everything has advanced now and it's better than it used to be. 6 divisions worth of military age. Yes, fit well-dressed Chinese have crossed the border. Yes, and it's that really makes me mad, Lee. I hear about Ohio is right below me. I'm not far from the Ohio border. I have friends and family that live near, that area that has been invaded by people that are not supposed to be here. And that really ticks me off because I'm, like I said, my brain is very scattered lately because I have 5,000 pages of paperwork that I have to try and fill out. They want every bit of information, like how much money do you have in the bank? What is every single bill that you pay? What are the amounts of that? What do you have in savings? What do you have money invested? They want to know what time of day I poop. I mean, that's the only way I can put it. That's how disgusting it is. I am a disabled veteran. I receive no benefits from the veterans whatsoever. I live on a very small disability income. My young adult does not receive food benefits. She is almost 21 years old. I have been fighting since she turned 18 years old. But because she lives in my household and whatever bullpucky they come up with, that makes me angry because we were born here. She was born here. I served my country for 8 years. But yet, they want to give a bunch of stuff for free from our tax dollars that we pay into our system to the dill holes that are here illegally. That pisses me off. Sorry to say it. That's the only way I can say it. Our
And it should piss everyone off.
Our country comes first. My family, friends, relatives, everyone who is here legally in this country that pays taxes and have done it for decades and decades and generations, I am ticked off. And hopefully when the new administration person gets in office, if he's still breathing by then, hopefully, because they're trying to make sure he doesn't. I mean, they've already tried it and they're going to keep trying over and over and over again as much as possible. That makes me so angry. I'm sorry. I get fired up when it comes to that because
don't be sorry. It's your channel.
When I am, yes, concerned in normal street crime, yes. You know what? I have shared on previous, Bob, welcome to the channel. I have shared on previous live streams and some videos here and there, but usually my live streams where I have a little less restrictions on what I say on some things. But right here, we have issues. Actually, I took care of 2 young adult teenage boys because I was working in my yard and they decided they were going to smash up a pumpkin by my next door neighbor's brand new car, which is fine and dandy. Okay, yeah, they're young teenage boys, whatever, but they were just going to smash it and walk away. Well, I heard them, number one. I was working on my lawn, so I stepped out, and I guess my voice changed to the deepest, most scariest thing ever, which it probably did. It probably went to drill sergeant mode. I probably sounded like I did back in the day when I was, running drills. And, excuse me, it's cold up here. It's in the 40s, and this weather is killing my sinuses. But so my voice said, "Hey, that's all fun and dandy or whatever you're doing." But I said, "How about you pick that up and you put it in the garbage can like you should?" One kid took off and ran in 5 seconds. That's the kind of one that is going to be a problem in the future. The one that never takes responsibility for making a mistake on their judgment of what they're doing. The other young gentleman looked at me and he said, "Okay." He picked it up and put it in my neighbor's garbage can. And I said, "Thank you for doing the right thing." I said, "The kid that you're hanging out with is a punk and you better make some better choices for yourself." And that's all I said. And then I let my neighbor know. I said, "If you see a pumpkin in your garbage can, it's because it was going to end up on your car, your brand new car, or whatever situation it was." He appreciated it.
Yeah.
We have teenagers in groups walking through the areas, knocking on people's windows in the middle of the night. That is not a good thing to do, especially when we have A2 friendly people in my area, and I happen to be one of them. You knock on my window and I hear it, You better hope I cannot catch you, because I will. And because the people that are having issues, this is going an ongoing issue. There's a woman who, as soon as her husband leaves for whatever he leaves at the nighttime or whatever, these people are watching her house. Number one, that's creepy. Number two, it's stalking. Number three, they are terrifying her because she's home alone at night, and these teenagers, they've been busted. Somebody was egging something, and they dropped their cell phone, and guess what? They got caught. But you know what the parents say? I mean, all I see is and hear is different arguments about, they're just being kids. No. If you did something wrong when we grew up, you fixed the problem you created, or you got your butt kicked by your parents. And you never do it again because you got to go pick your own switch off the tree or your belt or whatever it was. Now, if you even threaten to say, oh, I'm going to take your game away from you, oh my gosh, you're going to have CPS at your freaking front door, which is BS, in my opinion. Just because you can't have what you think you need to have because you think, whatever, oh my gosh. I thank you, Jesus, for not giving me a child at a younger age. And especially a boy, because I grew up with brothers, and they were always in trouble, especially the oldest one, who's no longer alive, because he chose a very, very bad road in his life, in every single way. So, yes, sorry, I got on a tangent there, but I am sick and tired of being, having to be concerned about someone trespassing my property. I have a no trespassing sign on the gate on my entry of my deck to my front door. Do you think that the park, I mean, they claim that they can, it's not trespassing, blah, blah, whatever. I'm sorry, but communication in an area like this with thousands of people in this direct area, you do not leave a piece of paper taped on someone's door for communication for an important detail like, oh, they're replacing your water meter coming up. So there's going to be random crazy people, dudes that you don't know, coming near your house. Guess what? If I would not have known that they were going to be doing that stuff and I wouldn't have spoke to those dudes out there, I would have been out there in 5 seconds with a bat in my hand, wanting to know what the hell they're doing, excuse my language, underneath my mobile home. What are you doing touching my house? Why are you on my property? Why were you on my deck? Why were you anywhere near my vehicle? I am that kind of person. There's going to be lots of problems if people don't get their stuff together and realize you cannot do ding dong stuff anymore in this world because you're going to get hurt. And these kids think they're doing fun, cool, funny stuff or whatever. No, that there's not room for that in this day and era because people will take you out if you threaten them and make them feel that their life is threatened. Yes, Jan. EMPs, you know what? An EMP, it is not a good thing, but it does not necessarily mean that every electronic thing will stop working. That is a misconception, unfortunately. Do your research on it. Look up on some information about EMPs. Yes, they're doing it overseas right now between countries that are doing the things, having the disagreements. I'm trying to keep it PC and not get my videos blocked. But there's different types of EMPs, and there's different things that will and will not happen necessarily. It doesn't mean your vehicle is going to just stop in the middle of the road when you're doing 90 on the expressway. Hopefully you're not doing 90 on the expressway.
No.
Hopefully you don't have a Tesla because the battery is going to blow up on you and catch on fire. And also we found out when they did change some of the water heaters, they updated, or the water meters, excuse me, they updated them. Guess what is attached to these new things they put underneath our very fire hazard places, which is a mobile home. I mean, most of the places in here are, they're not inexpensive mobile homes. They are expensive like mine, which costs a fortune in repairs. But they put in wiring that is pretty much made by Tesla designers. So it is a highly flammable option put underneath my mobile home that would be up in flames and burnt to the ground in 20 minutes. Why did I not get a choice to agree or disagree to have a hazardous item put underneath my home because they don't want to go read water meters every month? Instead, they want it to be digitally able to be read, whatever, make whatever it is. I'm sorry, but you're putting my family in danger. And I mean, it is very hard to file complaints against places like this that take advantage of people because they have no other affordable housing in the area here. So if you're a senior citizen, you're disabled or whatever, you have no choice. You got to deal with their bullpucky, which I don't. They know I don't. And I have no problems telling them how I feel, obviously. If you know me, you know me. I'm trying to read that. The movie Dragon Day would be a more realistic way to take America. You know, I don't think I've seen that at all. And I guess if I can look it up, let me write that down because I will forget. I have CRS. I can't remember crap. So, Dragon Day. What year did it come out? I don't know when it was. Dragon Day movie. Okay, I'm going to check that one out. You know, I don't always go by the modern day stuff because some people like my age range, if I'm over 50, from 50 to 60 or plus years, if you're still prepping and still an A2 friendly person, I mean, look at Lee. I mean, Lee, he's in his 70s. I bet he'll still kick somebody's butt because he's a smart man. He's very prepared. Yeah. He's aware of situation. You got to be situationally aware. But when I see 99% of people under the age of 40 and they're walking around and they have a phone like this in their face, walking around, they're looking at their phone in the parking lot, walking through the parking lot to go into a grocery store. They could be hit by a bus and not even see it coming because they're too. If you have to sit and look at your phone at a stoplight, you've got a problem. Put your device away. Do not look at it. Get off of it. Yes, we're on a platform right now. We're on the internet right now. But this is for learning purposes, in my opinion. I'm not here for entertainment. I'm not here. If I was here for entertainment, I want to see some John Cena on the screen right now. You know, give me some of the old faves. Come on. I would, you know, that's what I'd be looking for. So, oh goodness. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up Go West. Let me see. I don't watch any of their movies. Okay, I don't know what movie that is, so sorry. I'm so behind. I apologize, but welcome, Go West. And I'd like to be out west because it's warmer there probably. And I do not like winter. Oh, in your army posts. Okay. You know what? That's not surprising. And hopefully something gets changed, in my opinion, where we don't allow foreign countries to invest in any property or own any property in our country. This is our country. Only American people, American people need to own products and companies or land, especially farmland. We need our farmers. Our farmers right now, they're basically killing us because we have the worst toxic foods than any other country in the world. We are the most toxic because it makes billions and billions, no, excuse me, trillions of dollars for the people that have invested in medical crap that are for sick people. That ticks me off because I worked at medical for 35 years, somewhere around there. I started when I was 5. Yeah. Hey, food, forest, and permaculture. Hello. And yes, I'm an earthling. I am not a foreign body. So, thank you. Welcome. Yes, I am highly ticked off. I mean, the difficult part was, you know, trying to find. I had to basically, when I was healing my daughter from her mental disability that was brought on by basic modern medicine, supposedly. I'll leave it at that. No. Nope. But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't trust the military right now because I think our military is letting all the dill holes in here to do whatever they feel like doing because they're getting paid off. And that makes me even more angry as a U.S. veteran person, but just a citizen in general who is aware of crap that's going on. So that makes me a little mad. Hey, Voodoo, how you doing, honey? Thanks for yeah. Hunting season starts tomorrow morning. You go, honey. You go. Get all the goodies, and we want to hear about all the things that you're making and doing. I can't. This you post something on. If I hear anything that she posts on my stuff that I read it, it tires me out to know how much work she does in a day. You go. Seriously. I mean, and she's. I'm not saying her age. I'm not saying her age, but it's a lot more than me. And I tell you what, that is someone with dedication right there. And that's what it's kind of like Lee. I mean, you could break your back and stuff, and man, you still keep going, dude. You lose some body parts, like you lose a couple things. You keep on going. You just got to do what you got to do. And the generations coming up have no idea how to survive on their own. They can't survive if their phone don't work. Oh my gosh, the Wi-Fi's out. Oh my gosh, what do we do? You sit there and you find something to do. Go clean your room. Do the dishes. Sweep the floors. Something.
Help your parents out the house, you know?
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't have time for this. I don't know how. You know what? I'm sorry, but And yeah, Lee, you have so much information. I mean, if y'all don't subscribe to his channel, make sure you do, because if he's, I mean, he does more in a day. It's like the Army. When I was in the Army, we did more before 9 a.m. than most people did all day, and that's still true to this day. And most people, like Lee, no matter what branch you're in, if you're still military, if you're a military person, it doesn't matter if you haven't slept in 3 days like me, or barely slept, and you have like 5,000 projects right next, sitting here on all the sides, but you still make time to spend with your family and your friends or those that matter to you, and you put yourself last, you came from a different era than what we have now, because everybody thinks they're entitled to getting whatever the heck they want when they want it, and you're supposed to jump, and how high? Nope. No. Yeah, no. My daughter might be differently abled, but I tell you what, she is the most respectful, kind person I know that is just under her, her age group in the 20s. Kids nowadays, they're little punks. Like the punks that I must have sounded like DEFCON 5 when I raised my voice to them, because he had, my neighbor has it on camera. I said, "You don't have audio, do you?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Well, thankfully you don't, because I don't want to know what I sounded like, because I know it was scary." And I mean, mind you, I'm like 3 feet shorter than what these young teenage boys were, or young so-called almost adults.
Yeah, but it was effective.
All I know is one of them ran like a sissy girl. The other one did the right thing. And I tell you what, that one, I would rather speak to his parents and say, you have even though your son did the X, Y, and Z and was going to make a different choice, he made the right choice. So they should be proud of him. I don't get a chance to say that to that parent. But the other little dill hole, oh man, I would kick his butt left and right. If it was my son, if I had a son that did that, oh my gosh. Oh, they would have no arms, legs. They would have no butt attached, you name it. I mean, now you can't even threaten to do that now, because I'm gonna tell on you because you were mean to me. Excuse you? You can go live in a foster home somewhere. Go to the children's village up here in this state and see what happens to you. I am disgusted with that. That's man, I can't even talk about that. I'm gonna get mad at me, more mad at let's see.
Don't do it.
Do you think they've done our radios like the Israelis did to the Hezbollahs? Oh my goodness, I can't even get down that topic. I don't even know anything about that. Who knows? All I know is that everything is messed up in the rest of the world. Hello, Northern Girls Hobbies. I miss you. I haven't seen you forever. How you doing, honey? Hopefully you're doing good. Always appreciate insight into things, and thank you for, well, I appreciate that. And I really got lucky. We had some nice meals. I got some nice meals for free on Veterans Day, which I really appreciate. Some of the places that do that. That was great, because I don't treat myself very well with food. I mean, if I have to choose between my daughter eating something or me eating it, guess who gets it? It's not me. So that is the parent that I am. So, but to have, I got a nice meal, and actually, my hair is getting my hair is like all up here because it's down. I'm trying to grow it out to have it cut and donate to Wigs for Kids, the kids with cancer. My daughter did that when she was very little. We let her hair grow until it, was past her, almost to her buns, and she had her hair cut very short and donated her hair to help kids that were sick. And I'm not gonna cry. You're not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. You're gonna cry. But so my hair is my natural color. I have no coloring in it, whatever. And it's got some white stuff in there, but it's got a reddish, whatever it is. But mine is now, it's almost to the bottom of my back, and it's hard to keep up with it. But I received a coupon for a free haircut from the place I take my daughter for Veterans Day. But it's like, well, I really, if you want to wash it for me, that's fine, and just don't cut it, or maybe just trim some bad ends off of the end, whatever it is, I don't care, because I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to grow it as long as I possibly can before I can't stand dealing with it anymore, because I don't want my hair to be like super short, but
Yeah.
I don't care. I have a reason for why, because my daughter's hair provided wigs for 2 children or more that she donated. And if I donated mine at the same length, I would be able to have 1 to 2 or even 3, depending on the length of the wigs or how much hair they need for the wigs. I could donate that many wigs for someone who would need one at the time, which I'm not going to cry. You're going to cry. Keep saying that all the time. This time of year is when I have my moments with the things. But I'm so behind on all the things, comments and stuff. But Red Dawn was old school stuff. We could have got by back when we were teenagers, when Barry and I were teenagers and everybody else older like us. We could have got by with the things that they had up there in the mountains, because that's what we had. We hunted, and it's like you caught the rabbits. My brothers did rabbits, and we had deer all the time. You had venison all the time. Venison was cheap. The only time we had, a certain amount of beef or whatever stuff, or it was for farm friends of my grandparents or whatever that had farms. My grandfather used to chop wood in exchange for some couple butchered chickens, or somebody butchered a pig, and it's like, oh, we got some bacon, and the bacon grease was left on the stove for like 30 years and was never cleaned out, and we did not die. Now you have to go by a date on some can that says, oh, you better use this lard by next Tuesday or you're gonna die, or whatever crap, or people just throw stuff away. They did not grow up like we did. I mean, like I said, we had lard and we had bacon grease on the freaking stove. Never washed that sucker. Nothing was washed ever the whole time in that household. And that was decades and decades. And we did not die. So what are we doing? We're killing people. We're making people sick with the crap that they have in the world. Ugh, makes me mad. See, you're making me hungry. Making biscuits tomorrow for breakfast at 4 a.m. What? I'm not even in my body at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore. Or I'm not even sleeping yet. I am so bad with that. Yeah, it is. Street drugs are turning our own people. Oh my gosh. I want to know where this person is. I mean, the guy has a documentary. He's the one that invented fentanyl, the fentanyl king, or whatever the guy's name is. Why is he still breathing? I mean, obviously, God's keeping him breathing for a reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's so he can go to jail? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, but
Doubtful.
right now he's just still in someone's pocket.
Oh my God. Why in the world would they highlight the dude that created this drug? I have one of those people that are on the fentanyl fake thing, because what is it, methadone or whatever? Whatever stuff it is that people are overdose on fentanyl crap. Whatever that is. I got one living across the street. And I can tell every day when she's tweaking on that stuff, when she's got the supplement thing, the fake kind, just so that it keeps them from
methamphetamine.
Doing whatever. Not even, I mean, methamphetamines are nothing compared to that crap. Holy cow, I'd rather see somebody, well, no, I don't want to see anybody on medications that you don't need to have, but still, I'm like, why are we paying for this? Our tax dollars pay for this dude who created this horrendous drug that makes people a zombie. And you may as well be a zombie apocalypse. But no, it's okay. Oh my gosh. That just makes me upset. That we let the ding ding dog out there. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I know I'm so behind on all the things. Oh, financial market. I was wondering. Okay, in 2008, saw the financial markets. Yes. So yeah, hopefully you didn't lose your butts on that. The Bible says that they will be saying peace and safety before the destruction. Yes, of course. Pretty much they're just thinking, okay, go ahead and plan on seeing your maker. That's their peace and safety. Pretty much trying to remove people that they don't want in the world. They only want people that will not comply, in my opinion. That's how I feel. I'm the one that contacted you from Central New Mexico a while back. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that reminder. I have CRS, which means I can't remember stuff. To put it nicely. Yes. Yeah. I am not good. Called our air conditioner heater guy. It got down to 50 last night. Ooh, you're at my time. I got 58 or 48 degrees here. So you guys, this so-called global warming is not really global warming, obviously. I know what Texas is like. I was down there serving in the military, and it was 115 in the summer, and the low in the winter was like 65, something like that. There's something going on. We know we are messing up the whole world's stuff with whatever we don't know what's in space. We don't know what they really do. And, yeah, one problem at a time. Yes, that's all I can try to handle too. Sorry, Michelle, if I get legal paperwork to get to the U.S., I'm going to try to acquire farmland to grow my own. That's fine. If you get paperwork to legally come to the U.S. and do and buy whatever you want to, amen to that. That is totally fine. Now, if somebody wants to come across the border and pretend that they deserve everything in the world and it doesn't matter, they don't have to follow our laws, or they can, take lives of men, women, children, and do horrible, disgusting things. No, I disagree with that. But if somebody wants to be here and do things, yes. Hey, Camo. The dog's outside hunting all the squirrels and animals that have been in our yard. That's why she's barking. She's doing her job. She's doing her job out there, but it's always a little frustrating. Yeah. So, oh goodness, I'm trying to catch up because I'm really not good at that. I'm not good at that at all. So, but literally, I watched Blood Dawn, I don't know, 50,000 million times. All the oldies, the good ones, and I'm thinking, if I had that much food and I had a shotgun and I had ammo and stuff like that, or knew how to trap animals, you know what? That'd be fine with me. I would not want to be one of the people that, just because, say, you owned a party store and you sold various things in it, or like gasoline, which would be like if we were taken over, like in that movie. They don't want you having gasoline because you could travel, you could get away, and except on foot. Well, to me, it's like, okay, so I don't want to be a business owner if we had, crap hit the fan over here from other countries, because they would do just that. They would gather up anybody that, excuse me, I'm trying to get comfortable on my heating pad. They complain about people having personal protection items that they have legally, which most of us that are A2 friendly do have, but they want to make sure that as little people as possible can protect themselves and their families and their properties from illegal entities that enter our country. And that takes me off. New York, as far as I know, New York is the #1 state you would never ever want to live in if you want to be able to protect yourself, because you cannot even have a tactical vest, like a bulletproof vest. They are not legal to have in the state of New York. Every other state, as far as I know, you can own a tactical vest with, you know, a bulletproof vest or ballistic, whatever you want to call them, whatever kind it is. Every state allows them. You can walk down the street with one on legally, unless you are a convicted felon. And if you do, you never want to commit a crime wearing a bulletproof vest, obviously, because that's a reason why that if you're a felon, you're not going to be able to have it legally again. Same thing with firearms. That happens with firearms. No, you cannot legally own a firearm if you are a felon or convicted felon prior, whatever. But still, they're trying to take the, you know, you didn't have to write. If you had a pistol, my grandpa had a pistol. You think that was registered back in the day? No. How many shotguns that we had? There was a case, you know, a humongous case with 10, 15 different rifles in it in our house with ammo at all times. And that was when I grew up. We should be able to have that hanging in every room we want in our house,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But New York, I would never, ever, ever move to New York. You couldn't pay me to move to New York. You can give me $1 billion to go there because they do not allow the rights of people. And what do you think we need to do to prepare for Red Dawn? You know, I'm probably way, way behind on that question that you asked, but I think that we need to make sure that we have a plan for where we're going to go if we can't stay where we are. That is the most difficult for us right now, in my opinion, where I am. We do not live in the country. We are in a city. We have crime all around us. We've had active shooting all around us. We've had people's lives taken. We have crazy people in their underwear carrying a sword in our area and attacking vehicles in the middle of the main street right over there, which is not far from where I am.
You know, I laughed about that.
Yeah.
Only because I think of Slab City over in California.
Yes.
Like some guy standing out there drunk, he's got a sword in his hand.
This young man was in his underwear only with a sword. And he actually approached a couple, a man and a woman, and said something absurd that I can't even repeat about, you know, basically he was asking them to take him out, to like try and take his life. That's how mental this person was. But so they quickly walked away and called police, but that person was in the main street in the underwears only with a sword attacking vehicles. He did not care if he was hit by a vehicle whatsoever because he was waiting for them to hit. He was just like waiting to, I didn't get to see it in person, thank goodness. Amen. But that is another concern is today, if poop hits the fan and say we did have something take all our power out and say jails could not contain all the crazy people or mentally insane, the ones that are killers or perverts, whatever insane stuff, I don't think we could ever prepare for that because we can only do so much. Yes, Bob, that's correct. People who are, I believe mental illness has gotten worse because of things that have happened with, maybe they just lost their crap. I don't know what's happened to them. You can have some sad times or feel a little down or a little off, but when you are whacked out, if you're in your underwear with a sword attacking cars, those people getting let out of jail are just as harmful as anyone else. But mental institutions, I mean, that's almost like the other one after Armageddon one, where people that make it out of the mental health places, yes, the people, I expect to have people that are someone that has committed heinous crimes. Those people I'm prepared for. a mental person, not necessarily, even though I have a psychology degree. But that is beside the point. It doesn't mean I'm an expert on how to deal with some crazy person who is just crazy, and I want to get them out of my way because I'm trying to go somewhere to try and keep myself and my family alive.
Yeah.
So all I can say is I can say it until we can all say it until we're blue in the face that you can't make someone be prepared. You know, you can't make someone understand, hey, you know how many times the water's been shut off in this place we live in the last 5 years? If you think 3 to 4 times a year we have no water, or the sewer has an issue, or whatever it is, you would think if you have lived here for 10 years, you know to prepare that you might not have a toilet to use, your sewer might not work, you might not have water for days. Would you not think to do something to get ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why do you think I have water containers that I can barely lift myself? I fill them as much as I can. They're 3-gallon. Their blue jugs are they hold 3 gallons. But for me, I'm like 5'2" and 100 pounds, something, whatever. I don't even know what. But it's like, I can't fill everything to the top. I have, the big propane tanks. You know how difficult it is for me to lift that up? But if it came down to it, I could probably pick it up with one hand and chuck it in my truck if my adrenaline was going bad enough. When you are in that mode of getting out of town, if these young kids, these are teenagers. I mean, of course, it's Patrick Swayze and all the other younger actors back then. Of course, it was dramatized a bit, but still, even that old of a video, it's like the kids that grew up with their rich daddies or whatever, the man in office, his son, that was up there with that group. It's, I'm the student body president or something. I say we vote on whatever. And it's like, it don't work that way, honey. You ain't going to be voting on nothing. You're going to be voting on getting your ass kicked. Excuse me. You're going to get your butt kicked because you are standing there and you have no clue what it's like to go without something for 5 minutes because of whatever entitled life they've had. Even back in the days, we had the same situations like that. Yes, camel car, I agree. Michigan winters, I don't like snow. I don't like being cold because I'm old. My daughter tells me that every day. She reminds me every day. But I wish our seasons were what they used to be up here. We used to have a spring, summer, and fall, and then a winter. Now, I don't even know what the heck we have now. I have no idea. It's just ridiculous. Drain the swamp. Yeah, we can drain everything in the world in here. Everybody's got their opinions about people that are in office. No politician is perfect. No one in this world is perfect. No one in this breathing world here is perfect in any way, shape, or form. You have to pick somebody that you think might do the best job. And if it's somebody in there that you don't think is going to do a good job, you whining and pissing and moaning about it and crying or whatever people do, you're wasting your time. You could spend your time doing something more productive than whatever you little whiny people want to do. If you're under 30 years old whining about something, you did not grow up in our era, in mine.
No.
And I'm not the person for you to listen to because I tell you, everybody's got their opinions on people. All I know is that a person that should not be allowed president in this country because they are not really entitled to be a president in this place. That person should never have even been on there, in my opinion. It's a female that starts with an H. I don't want to make anybody bark or anything like that. If you don't like it, sorry, it's my channel. But I don't want some corrupt person who can act like I'd rather have somebody that acts like an arrogant idiot 24/7. I know he's an arrogant idiot 24/7. I don't have to worry that they're going to be something else other than what they seem to be. Sleepy Joe, that man has been brain dead for 10 years. Sweet baby Jesus, I'm sorry. He's been gone. That man can't get a word out of his face. That was cruelty to keep that man in office, in my opinion, because he was not a president. He was just there for the name. That's my opinion on that one. But Red Dawn stuff. Basic things, everyday life conveniences. If you like to have, whatever it is that you like to have in your home that you like to enjoy every day. If you want coffee in the morning every day, that's me. If you ain't gonna see a smile on my face if you interrupt me before I have my coffee. Well, I'm not exactly like that, but that's an example. Everyone should be prepared for hopefully short-term inconveniences. Having no power for 3 to 5 days, having no heat, having no sewer, having a vehicle that doesn't work, having, say, gosh forbid, hopefully you're not an insulin dependent person. If you are dependent upon a medication to keep you alive and ticking, if you can improve your health in any way, shape, or form so you don't have to depend on a medication to keep you alive, that would be a blessing. Because medications are in short supply. Guess what? They're made in China. Every single one of them. I don't know of one drug that keeps people alive that is made in this country at all. At all. And that is, and people are hooked on medications. Bad medications that can be good short term. Every medication is good for short term. Antibiotics, life-saving short term. Pain medications, comfort control, short term, not habit that you need 15 pills a day because you got hooked on whatever it is. You want to drink every day? Go ahead. Have a glass of wine every day. It doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Now, if you got to drink a fifth of vodka a day, that's a different story, because you're not going to be running to the store and getting one every day when you ain't got no money or a place to live, or you might not have your legs left on you. Who knows what's going to happen? I say prepare what you do. I prepared out of necessity. I grew up poor. We were very low income. My grandparents raised me because my mom was never around as a single divorced parent for whatever times she was, whatever, that situation. But I think, my neighborhood's bad. It's not a great neighborhood, and this is a very wealthy neighborhood. We have people being shot and killed in their own homes because of dill holes, and we have somebody that's a wuss who decides to take out women and children and their families in a splash pad because they're a dill hole, and if they got mental problems, get taken care of it yourself. Ugh. If you can't handle your crap off yourself in your own freaking house, don't try and take somebody else out first. That's my opinion. All I know is that they'll get theirs wherever they went to. Because what? Your cats are like attacking you?
Just want
He's got all the girls after him and boys, whatever.
They're most girls.
Yeah, our neighborhood, this neighborhood is not good here.
Yeah. And mine's getting better. I just got that one. He's now wanted in 3 counties.
Hey, there you go.
I they catch him.
Oh, yeah, the fentanyl and other drugs, yes. There's a lot of, it's ridiculous. People, like I said, that fentanyl dude, the one that's, oh, I'm a famous person. I'm the one that created this, but I want to kick him in the pants. That's a nice way to say it. Why? We don't need any more drugs here. People, short-term use of all medications that are available, fine and dandy if it makes someone be able to get back to a normal life, go back to work from a brain injury. I've been there 5 times. I better, hopefully not anymore. 5 times. I have no memories of stuff. I don't know what the hell happened to me. I don't know what happened. All I know is that they get you hooked on, they get you all these drugs and crap with a brain injury, and you have no memory for years. You don't even know what your name is. I don't want to live that way. I do not want to be alive that way. I'm here for a reason, and the reason is my daughter. If it was before she was born, But all those things, besides the ones when I was very young, before my daughter was born, in the military, getting blown up and stuff, whatever stuff happened to me, that's a different story. I was meant to be here after the fact. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here so far. I'm not trying to rush it in any way, because, you know, I'll be up in heaven, be like, put me in, coach, put me in, coach. I gotta get down there and I gotta put me in. Let me take over this part,
Yeah.
because if I could, if it's possible, if I was up there and I saw anything bad happening with my daughter, I'd be like, put me back in the game, coach. Reincarnate my butt in there, because I would never rest if I knew anything bad was going like that. Yeah, I had my one brother. I had Northern girls. The oldest I have all half siblings. We're all half siblings, but he was, gosh, I think he was about my age, early 50s, when he died. I don't keep track because I had to quit keeping track of anything like that, of the sort, because he did not live a good life whatsoever in any shape or form. Not at all. He did everything, anything you could do wrong in the world, pretty much he did. So I'm surprised. He always said he would never live past 50. He made it like a year or two past that, I think, when he passed away. And he's been gone for a while. So
I'm gonna
you can't
grab
help people.
something to blow my nose with. I'll be right back.
You're allowed. Go ahead. I'm trying not to. This weather, the heat keeps coming on, and it's cold and it's hot and it's cold. It's like, ugh. Yeah. Homeless, street crime, drug usage, all affect. Yes, it is crazy with. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I got a little upset there thinking about some of the things, but this weather, the heat kicking on and off in here is very hard. My eyes, I mean, I feel like I have allergies, but I don't really have allergies, so I don't know it's just Michigan. This is just Michigan weather. Social media stuff. Social media, I don't like to be on much of it at all. I do keep in touch with distant family. That's about it. Very little. But yeah, when I see a 1-year-old in a cart at the grocery store with its parent, and they have a phone in their face, or they have an iPad and they're playing games and stuff, and they're like a year old or a year and a half old or less, that there is research, the fact of just being in front of a screen like I'm sitting here right now at a young age, when it's a developing brain of a child of any kind, it can cause brain damage, and it causes your brain to not function or process information properly. Why do we need brain dead kids in this country? We already got enough problems as it is to keep our kids healthy. They want to poison our kids from birth, or even while the mom is pregnant, especially if they're doing illegal drugs or whatever. That bothers me as well. I can't even get on some of the topics because I can't keep my comments PG-13 with some of the stuff, because I just get really upset about that. I get upset about that. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, hopefully, yeah. I try not to do politics stuff. I just want everybody. I mean, I have some really, number one, they're mean comments on things, whether it's a video or mostly my videos, not really live streams, because my mods would knock you off of here, because I don't need to be discouraged any more than I already am about the world. But I think that there are people that on my videos that I post, I try to share things. I always try to add the information in there that says, I'm what we prepare for, or what we stock for food, or whatever it is, whatever we have on hand, is not going to be the same as what you might prefer. You do you, we do us. Everybody does things differently. But if somebody, some people would just say things just because they're behind a keyboard and typing away saying, oh, you know nothing about prepping, and this is the most boring channel ever referred to me ever, whatever somebody wants to say. I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I do not care what you think. You're not, if people think that if they get off on that, if that makes them feel better about themselves, then more power to you. But I really don't give a rat's butt. Try to keep it PG-13ish. But yes, Miss Michigan. I'm in the Thumbish area, like the lower right side, if you're looking at it that way. We're the eastern thumb area. I'm not in Detroit, I'll tell you that, because no, thank you. Yeah, going to Detroit when I was young was a different story than going down there now. They built it up to make it look nice in Michigan, but no, it's not. It's not really nice at all. So, yeah. Oh, cats. I mean, oh, I love cats, but in this area, this area that we are at, it is a lot of woods around us, right off of a city, the main drag of a city. We have lots of natural things around here. People dump animals. There's nothing worse that pisses me off than people that are not responsible with their animals. If you have an animal, they have free spay and neuter programs up here. You can find things, and the dill holes that breed animals and try to sell them to make money. Breed your own damn self. Sorry, breed your own self and sell your kids off. Okay, don't put that on animals. They don't ask for that. Sorry, that gets me going a little bit. Gets me going a little. But animals, yes, I have been someone that kicks people's butts if I used to rescue animals when I was a little kid, like less than 7, 8 years old, and
Well, what what makes me mad? Sorry.
yeah, I'm trying to keep my PG-13, but it's not always. It's coming out a little bit more now.
It's the young couple that moved out of the place that I just moved into, leaving their cat behind, lying that they're going to pick them up, that someone's going to pick it up. I'm sorry, if you're going to abandon your cat, at least try to find a home for it. Don't just go, oh, well, just leave it at home.
Because they, that if I was down there, I'd hunt that person down. That is the same thing as people that don't care. They're a drug addict and they keep getting pregnant or whatever it is. It's like, oh, I don't believe in birth control, but I'm a drug addict and I keep having sex and I keep having kids and I just toss them off or let somebody abuse them or kill them or whatever crazy crap in the world that people do. Oh my gosh. I'm spitting on myself even trying to get words out because night voodoo. Sorry if I missed that. I don't even know what time it is. I'm bad with this because it's in military time and I'm old, as my daughter tells me. But you guys all take care. I cannot stand the fact when people do.
YouTube's not open on my own. I don't know what's causing that.
I have no idea, but I mean, I've had some things popping up here and there with interruptions of, it says there's an interruption in your service, blah, 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 whatever. I can live without internet. That's fine with me. I mean, I'm not going to die without it, but it's, yeah, it makes me very, very angry. The lack of compassion in general in some people really makes me want to kick them in the pants. A blizzard in New Mexico, no warning, power out for 8 hours. Not good. It's bad when your power goes out. Yeah. The good, well, Michigan, we can have all 4 seasons in one day. So, we could have 80s and that could be snowing and, the power will go out and we'll have no water or whatever it is. We never know what's going to go on here. And so But I think the way that I grew up at my age, we went without things that were super, some people had a ton of conveniences in their life. They had two parents that had a vehicle for each of the parents to do with whatever with the kids. That was not my life. I grew up basically never seeing my mother, and I took care of my grandmother starting at the age of 8. From 8 to 16 years old, I took care of my grandmother till she passed away. And I didn't have anybody taking care of me. I was taking care of my grandmother at 8 years old. I was helping her. I had to do dishes. I helped to do laundry. I gave her medications and all the other stuff. Now, kids do not help their parents. They don't have, there's most families have less children than back in the days. My one aunt had 9 children, and she has millions of grandkids and so on and so forth, but they lived in the middle of nowhere. Guess what they ate all the time? Whatever he caught, whatever he shot, and they processed. I mean, they hunted every single animal in their woods. They lived in a 3-bedroom house with 9 kids. And my aunt was pregnant with kids when her oldest daughters and sons were married and having kids. So her youngest child was an uncle years before he was born, which is crazy. But that's what they did back then. You had lots of kids if you had a farm or whatever to take care of. They had as many kids that God gave them. That's how it worked. Nowadays, people decide, well, I don't really think it'd be convenient if I have any kids in my life. I just want to focus on my career and do what I want to do. That's fine. That's your choice too. But that's not how it used to be. It used to be very different. Yeah, we have I had to stop working or volunteering. I donate things to animal shelters or rehabilitation centers and stuff like that, but I cannot volunteer at them. If I have extra of anything, I will send it to them, give it to them, whatever, but I cannot be there in the heart of it because I lose my crap. I will cry in 5 seconds. I dropped off dog food after I went to the homeless shelter where all the crackhead people were and all that stuff. That made me nervous for like the 5 seconds. I got nervous, until I got away from there. That doesn't bother me. Animals don't choose to be born either. They're either bred, they're unkept, just like children. Children don't say, hey, I'm glad I'm born to a crackhead. No child says that. God does not intend that. But everybody has their own beliefs and stuff. But people mess up a lot. They bring children into the world. They do things with animals. They're mean to animals. I see anybody being mean to an animal, I will go to jail. That is, and I don't look good in orange. I do not look good in orange. So
Clashes with your hair.
Yeah, well, no, it clashes. It goes with my eyes, but not my hair.
Right.
I'm sorry. Do I sound like one of those Karen videos you might see online, where they're like, "Oh, I can't go to jail because my hair would get messed up or something, or whatever those pussy people." I almost said the other word. Oh my goodness. Take care, Lee. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in here. You're such a busy man. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're doing good. Sending you blessings. So, yeah, oh my gosh. $750 plus for shots and spay for the mama. Oh my goodness. I don't know where that's from, but holy cow. Yeah, it is.
It's all on my check right there.
Well, like myself, if people don't know me or understand how I do and why I started being a so-called prepper. I wasn't a prepper back in the day. I was a prepper as an 8-year-old trying to survive in general. My mom was never around. She worked a day job Monday through Friday, and she worked all weekend long. I never saw my mother. My grandmother and grandfather took care of me until my grandfather passed away when I was 8 years old. Then my grandmother started having strokes shortly after he died. And so guess what? I became a caregiver, and I wanted to make sure that my brothers did not do well at school. They were, the oldest one was the worst. Like I said, he was a drug addict. He was a thief. He stole. He did anything to get out of being responsible for anything in his life, any way, shape, or form. Sorry, Lord, I apologize. Don't curse me, but I wanted a good education. I wanted to be able to go to college. I wanted to have a career that paid well, and I was terrified. I had girlfriends that were 13 and 14 years old, pregnant, having children, dropping out of school where I grew up. I did not want to be them. I did not want that at all. And I made sure, I was brought up a certain way. My grandma was always like, you don't have kids, you don't do nothing until you're married. I was raised by my grandmother to be a wife. That's how old she was, born in 1908. So when you were brought up, women were brought up, I was taught how to cook, clean, do dishes, laundry, iron, sew on the old sewing machine that was foot operated. If y'all don't know that, you're way young. Oh, sorry. There's probably it says echoing. I can't hear any echoing stuff. The Tubes has been doing that even when I'm watching some videos on my own computer. It's like, it's crazy. It's
StreamYard's been.
It's not even just StreamYard. It's like even on YouTube itself, the sound is not right on a lot of stuff. But hey, you never know. All I know is that I grew up not wanting to be those people, and it's like there is one person, my one friend that I grew up with. She is still married to her husband, who is the father of I think they had 4 or 5 children, but she's one of them that was like, I think she was maybe 15 when she got pregnant and dropped out of high school, and they got married. They are still together today, to this day, decades and decades later. No one else is. That's the only person I know of that is still married to the, that whole situation. And they have lots of grandkids and great grandkids, which is crazy. But yeah, kids have no interest today. They think everything is disposable. That is true. Yes. Yeah. They think I got to get a new lease car because this one is like getting worn out. It's a 2-year lease. It's a car that you rent, and you pay more than my house payment for a vehicle that goes from point A to point B, where you work 10 hours a day to try and pay your debts off. Debt is, I want to say, it's marketed to go into debt because you want to be cool and hip and popular. If you have to buy food on a credit card, if you use a credit card like the smart way, which I do, is to earn points to get cash back, and I don't carry debt and I pay it off every month, that's a totally different thing. If I get it interest free for 3 months on something, I will buy gear and pay it off in 3 months. If say I wanted to get, whatever tool it was, I wanted to get some extra tools or extra batteries for the things that I use here, the big batteries for the Ryobis or whatever. That's the only reason I would ever take on so-called debt. But I don't carry it more than 90 days, ever. I would not. Why? It's not that important. I have sweatpants on and I got a sweater on. And my hair hasn't been cut in 2 years. And the only time it's going to get cut is probably, I might let them wash it and trim it a little bit because that would be like the most relaxing thing I've had in like 3 years. Somebody to wash my hair. And then, but I'm doing it. I'm growing my hair for a reason. I want to donate it to men or women or kids that need some hair. They need a wig because they're dying from cancer that they got when they were born at 6 months old or 3 months old. I'm sorry. Children should never have cancer. There's no reason for a child to be born and have cancer before they were 50. Oh, I'm sorry. That really pissed me off. Because it is man-made. man-made diseases, man-made things by the powers that be, with a G-O-V. Somebody sing a rap song for me. I wish I could hear all y'all talking back and forth on that sometimes, because I'd like to hear some rap music from back in the day. But oh my goodness. Yeah, I suck at some of the things in this world because I cannot stand people that have no conscience about them at all. I mean, I'm worried about like if I'm dead tomorrow. I mean, my daughter, my daughter has a godmother who would be her guardian after I'm gone. But I have two fur babies here right now. And she knows they would never just be abandoned or tossed to some random shelter to get ixnayed or whatever. She will make sure that they find someone that will care for them.
Yeah.
I trust no one. I mean, I trust no one to do any of that other than that person. And if she is not alive, because her and I are same age, if for some reason both of us are gone, I know that she has the next person in line who I've known since he was very young, which is her son. That person will take on that responsibility because that is how he was brought up by a single mother, again, to be respectful and take care of things and family and all the other stuff. So, oh, man, people are not like that anymore. People are not, they don't care. They don't care about other people. They care about themselves. 11 siblings. Yeah, I've heard some large families, like 30 kids, crazy people. It's like, God bless them with a lot of kids. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that pisses me off about the other part that said about them raping, committing stuff. Crimes like that, I would take a life. I would take a life if somebody was doing anything of that sort to anybody that meant a lot to me. I wouldn't, I can't say that I wouldn't help a stranger, but still, I would have some, God would have to forgive me for a lot of things here on this earth that I've been doing. So, but I know I've been blabbing forever. Oh my goodness. Almost 2 hours already? Man. And see, Barry's not even keeping me in line. I was trying to talk about, I mean, every day is a Red Dawn situation, in my opinion, because we don't know what's going to happen ever, and we never will, really. We're not going to get some personal phone call that says, hey, my name is, Joe Schmo from FEMA. I'm just calling to let you know that we're going to make sure that the people in this county near you are going to get killed by this chemical accident, and we just want to let you know ahead of time in case you want to get prepared for it. It's going to be happening in an hour. Like, that's really shitting going to happen. That is never freaking going to happen. They will never, we will never ever know. And actually, the people that know too much information in the GOV, different branches and different kinds, those people are removed from the earth when they don't want them around anymore. Conveniently, I'm sure. Like their car, the brakes fail and they like fly off of a bridge, or their plane crashes that day, just happens to be that was their plane that crashed. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, I just.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. My own, I don't really want to have to leave this earth anytime soon, or sooner than I'm meant to, obviously. If it was just me and I had no children or anything, I mean, I would be concerned for my pets, of course, obviously, but, it'd be easier for me to have one of my friends who are, pet friendly and love animals. It'd be easier for me to trust in them for finding a different home for my animals while they're old, they're getting older. I mean, they're 10 and 12 years old. But it's like when it's a human person I have to leave behind that cannot fend for themselves or protect themselves from the people that are cruel and do terrible things in this world in general. Um, that that is what I fear in this world, because it makes me sick. It makes me sick, especially that, I can't. I come across some information, and I'm compelled to read certain things or watch certain documentaries or information, but also I can't do it at the same time, because when I hear of children being taken away from their parents for whatever reasons, because, oh, they have a medical marijuana card and the baby was born with marijuana in its system, and they take a newborn baby away from a family because they have a legal medical marijuana card, and they want to be douchebags or dickheads or whatever. Sorry, my language, it's going to fly out. They're taking children away, and they do it because it's a financial incentive. The more kids that they take away from their natural parents, they put them in foster care. The government pays them federal funding, state funding, and these kids are put in homes or so-called foster parents or whatever bullshit, or institutions. There are people with they're pedophiles, they're rapists, they have, histories. They have busted people that are supposed to protect children, and they're out there, they bust them during a sting where they're trying to catch child predators. Some sick freaking dude who was trying to find go meet up with some 14-year-old boy. And he was a social worker person that was a foster parent or some shit. Oh my gosh. Lord, I apologize. I would kick him in the balls. I would. I swear. I mean, I would go to jail. I would go to jail. But there's no way to prepare for people being disgusting human beings. And I find that the majority of people, everybody gets called a Karen and all this other stuff. And I don't trust police. I don't trust anything with those so-called officials that are meant to protect people in our country from crimes or whatever. No, they make up their own freaking rules and take away people's rights. That pisses me off to no end. I can't. Oh my gosh.
No.
I try not to say all the things that I want to say, but there's so much stuff. I mean, I can't stand it, because if I'm the kind of person, if I was walking out of a grocery store and this mom or some dad decided to smack their kid in the freaking head and tell him, "You shut up, you're fucking stupid," or some shit like that. Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. I would not keep my mouth shut. The police would be called, and I would make sure that that person, that is not acceptable to, and number one, humiliate a young person that you are supposed to be molding into a good person as an adult when they become an adult. Parents act like freaking 10-year-olds, especially the dill holes I have. I've got Ike and Tina over in this corner, and I've got the meth heads on methadone across the street over here, and they have a 5-year-old girl that constantly cries and whines and crap because both parents are fucking crackheads, and they live with the person's mother in that place, and they don't work, and they, I know there's CPS people that are there every month or so to visit, but oh my gosh, and the chick is whacked out half the time. I mean, oh my gosh, I can't even stand it. Yeah, fun times. That's totally fun time. Yeah,
It hurts. That hurts. Like
it's hard for me. You know what?
I got kids,
It makes, the thing that I mean, I don't care if those two want to go at it. If Ike and Tina want to fight and shit, I don't care. They can knock each other out. I don't care. The other people, if they want to, I mean, I spoke up twice because the lady, the so-called mom, I think the kid was in kindergarten, so she could have been 5 at that point in time, saying, "What the hell did you do that for? You fucking stupid," and whatever she was saying, screaming at this kid on the deck outside while I'm standing outside. And I said, if I hear you say one more thing like that to your daughter, I have no problem reporting you to officials that I despise, which is CPS
Mm-hmm.
or the police in general. I would call the police for disturbance and let that be out of my hands. It would be a disturbance because, in other words, I'm not going to watch you humiliate and tell this 5-year-old little girl who didn't ask to be born, lady. You decided to have another kid. She's already got a teenager, and you're the one that decided to not make sure you didn't have any other children, you know, when you're a crackhead. So I was like, I was pissed about that. And then the dude, the dad, so-called dad, that whatever. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, Lord. Um, he was outside and she ran her little, oh, got a little driver automatic car or whatever crap, whatever it is. Drives it into the freaking side of the mobile home or in the skirting or whatever. Well, duh, she's freaking 6 years old. You think she could fucking drive a car? Hello? No. Sorry. But and he said something. He called her like an effing idiot, or if you weren't such an effing idiot, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, I said, dude, she's 5 years old. Why are you letting her drive the freaking car thing anyway? That's your fault. I was like, that's all on you, bro. I was
And
like,
it clearly says in the instructions, adult supervision.
well, yeah,
Well, they're not adults, but
yeah, I was gonna say a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid is not an adult, and even the people
well,
that
no,
are
the
passing their
one's supposed to
sperms
be
and their
watching
eggs
over.
around are
Yeah.
not doing either. They're not doing good either. It's like, please don't procreate anymore. Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping in to see me. Have a good night,
Go
honey.
get
Thanks for
fixed.
stopping by. And yeah, it's very difficult to keep my mouth shut because, again, like I said, I don't look good in orange. I'm not the black and orange, or the black is the new orange, or orange, whatever that show is. I never watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orange is the new black.
Thank you. Thank you. I have CRS.
I didn't watch it either.
I didn't watch that one. I did watch
The
a
X
really
did,
good.
and I was like, why are
The
you
good
watching this
one
garbage?
on Netflix that I don't have, that's why I can't watch it again, is the one from Australia. It's the women's prison one, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was on Netflix. Oh my gosh, that was one raunchy, flippin' jail show of some crazy bitches. That's all I can say. Yeah, that is what is needed. People who care about the children. I used to think that back in the day, I mean, when we ever heard of anybody, I mean, it used to Child Protective Services back when anybody over 35 years old, at least 30 to 30 plus years old, it used to be for the kids that used to come to school and they had ratty clothes, dirty clothes, they didn't have any food to eat, it didn't look like they bathed in a year or something. That is what they were meant for, is for the unkept children that were either underprivileged, their parents weren't taking care of them, maybe they were dropped off at their grandparents, and the grandparents are too old to be raising a kid for somebody because they're a drug addict or alcoholic, whatever the situation is. That's what CPS was developed for. It was to protect those. I have friends who were protected by that agency because it's hard for me to talk about, but her and I were friends. We lived houses away from each other. Her stepdad was molesting her from the time that he married her mother. And if she finally reported him, like, I don't know how many years it was. She was a young teen, like, 14, 15 years old. So from her childhood till then, he was molesting and raping her. And he said, if you say, of course she was threatened. If you say anything, I will kill your mom, or I'll kill you and your mom, or whatever stuff. If I would have known or had any idea whatsoever, I would have said something about it, because that is how I was as a child. And I'm the same damn way as an adult, but even worse now, because I am a mom. I tell you what, I found out anybody tried to hurt my kid in any way, shape, or form. I mean, Barry knows some information. My best friend knows some information here and there about certain things, about people that are disabled or elderly people being abused, neglected, or being financially taken advantage of, whatever crap it is, I tell you what, this person right here, I'm the wrong one to F with when it comes to that, because I will protect my family, friends, and those that are, supportive of us in general in life. Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. If I find out you're screwing over anybody that I care about, even if it's a stranger, if I saw somebody trying to do something bad to an old person because it's a young punk or some bitch doing whatever, I don't care who it is. If you're hurting anybody that can't defend themselves, I will be the one going to jail wearing the orange and looking really, really shitty trying to help them out. And I will do that. And that is how I am. I am all about that. And oh my gosh, young people today, like I say, parents do not parent. They're on their phones, they're taking drugs, they're drinking, they're on their medications. All these kids are put on drugs because, oh, you can't sit still and pay attention to shit. It's called get your shit together, kid. You got to get your work done, or else you're going to get your ass kicked by your parents. Oops. What?
Not you, the cat.
Oh, I was like, what? What'd I say? I thought you were if you're going to get attacked or something, I'm going to have to be on 911 here on my phone.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
But,
Cameras haven't gone off. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. People don't have, I think it's hard for me I love having my channel, but I also don't like some things about it. Just because I share what I do, I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. I don't pretend like I'm some expert in anything. All I know is I want to survive, and I want my loved ones to survive, which is those closest people to me, which is the very, very, very few people. I have very little family, but I will die for my daughter. I will die to protect her in any way, shape, or form. That is me. But people in here, thousands of people, bitching because they don't have any water. Guess what? Store some freaking water in some containers. Fill your bathtub up. I don't give a shit what you do. Do something except piss and moan. It's not anybody else's job to take care of you. The government will not take care of us. They ain't taking care of me.
And don't wait till it's too late. Come knocking on a door going, you were right. You were right.
Well,
I think.
And that's the other thing too, is, it's like, I may not like some of the neighbors I have, but I do have one neighbor that I make sure, I made sure I spoke to that person. He's not somebody who would have a conversation with you because he keeps to himself person. I knew one thing that would bug him to make him talk to me, and that was I was weed whipping my lawn or whatever, and I know that I don't have to take care of past a certain area of whatever. I made sure that I weed whipped on his side of his lawn, just so I could get his attention, so he would talk to me. I knew what made him tick or what made him, not tick or whatever. I knew that would bother him, and he would stop and talk to me. So that worked. And I said, hi. Oh, I said, oh yeah, I know. I said, I just figured this is the only way I could get you to talk to me is if I did something that caught your attention that really would, bring you to attention so I could talk to you and introduce myself and let you know who I am, what I'm all about, and what I do and don't put up with. And actually, most people think that this guy is dumb. He keeps to himself. He's quiet. Last night, I had to call him up for the first time in 2 years. I was like, dude, so you got your radio on really loud? It said it's 11 o'clock. I said, my daughter's trying to go to sleep. And he called me. And he didn't text me. He called me. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, that's all right. I said, I know the reasons why, whatever. He explained his things. But, yeah, get along just fine. I love him as a neighbor. If anything, if he had a problem, if I had a problem, or he could help me with something, we would help each other out. Anybody else? Oh, hell no. I mean, besides my bestie, who's a street over. Anybody else? Hell no. It's like, I'm sorry. You have a knife in your eye? Oh, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
You should probably get that looked at.
Yeah, I don't really. I think you look better that way. I mean, I'm kind of joking-ish a bit, but if I have to make a choice at some point in time in my life, do I use my medical supplies on someone I don't know or don't care for? No. Will they become first for my daughter, myself, or my animals if they were injured? Yes. So that's fine, Jan. I'm almost done blabbing my face off anyway. So if we're not here, don't worry about it, babe. Thanks for being here, honey. Appreciate it. And Margaret, I'm glad you appreciate the authenticity of myself because not everybody likes it. Nobody, not especially when it comes to some kind of men. Not Barry, obviously, he's on my channel. But
I haven't run away, so
ugh. If I haven't scared him away yet, he won't go running anywhere. But
no.
just like, I mean, it takes a strong person to handle me. That's why I'm single still. And I'll stay that way again for a long time. The rest of my life, I don't care. Because if somebody can't handle a strong personality, you can't handle me. Because I am not going to be your foo-foo chick that is like, oh, honey, what can... That, no. I'm going to be like, dude. I was like, dude, you need to get off your ass and do something or whatever. And the last person that I bothered to try and deal with in life, that one, I think Barry knows pretty much. I've said it a few times, but that person pretty much was told that if he did X, Y, and Z again, ever, he'd be face down in the pool. And that was a valid point that I made. So anyhow, yeah. So you must have moved from New Mexico. Nope. No. I've never been in New Mexico. I've never been in Mexico. I have no intentions of going to Mexico. I've been in Texas. I've been in the airport in California. Never been to Washington State or any of those western states over there. The furthest I've been is Wisconsin, Minnesota, Kentucky, and I've been in Indiana. There's a lot of states, and on the East Coast and South, in Georgia, Alabama, Florida. But South Carolina, North Carolina, been there, obviously.
I'm sorry, go west. How many redheads do you know? Because most of them I know are very headstrong.
And I'm not even a redhead. That's the crazy thing. Well, I mean,
it looks red, but it's not.
It is. I mean, my natural color is, but I have more white hairs in here. Can't see that. Yeah. It is. My daughter's hair. We do have red hair in the family. We're Irish. Okay. So.
I'm Irish too.
But I mean, my hair. I was, perms, highlighting hair, all the stuff in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, all that kind of stuff. But it's been, I don't know. I think, well, probably when I bought this place, which has been a couple years ago now, is when I quit doing all the things with the hair. I didn't do highlight stuff or whatever. I just let it be what it be. Just like the songs from the Beatles. I'm not going to try and sing for you because I don't want you to think I'm a dying chicken or something. No, I never lived in, nope, never lived anywhere of those places. Yeah, exactly. No foo-foo. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I had a professional career. I've had numerous professional careers. And so, yes, I do. I've worn suits. I've worn scrubs. I've worn camo in the military. All that stuff. But, I'm not out to impress anybody. I have no desire to be anything other than what I am, how I say. If you don't like it, hit the road, Jack.
I would have ghosted you a long time ago. I've been like that, Michelle. Can't stand her.
Yeah.
You'd be like, why won't he talk to? What's his problem? Oh well, screw him.
Yeah, I have no space or time for any more bullshit that I already have in life in general.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most people don't want to hear people that want to watch things online, like entertainment. They like free shit or stuff, free things. That's fine and dandy. No, the government does not take care of veterans. Well, I'm a disabled veteran, but I'm not veteran enough to receive any benefits from them whatsoever. Not even. That's why I live in this money pit, because they denied me my VA loan the day I was supposed to have keys for a house that I was purchasing. And after that, I said, my government better not ask me for shit because they didn't do shit for me after I served for them for 8 years. So they can kiss my royal ass. So that's all I can say about that, which is a lot, obviously. Oh my gosh, that one looks so cute. We miss our we miss our kitty cat, but well, the one that's left, but yeah, that's okay. But yeah, I don't think that no matter how much people can think that they can prepare, I lived off of my preps for numerous years, numerous times because I lost my jobs. I was sick. I had my daughter. I had to be off of work when I was pregnant with her because of, uh, you know, yeah, he has lots of cats, but you know what? Some of them aren't even his, but he's going to take care of them because he's that kind of person, which is a good trait. Yeah, the people that left there where he's living now left the cats. Yeah, that makes me mad. I mean, I'm glad that the cat's not being deprived because they're being there, but it's hard to transition a homeless cat into a home cat, because here people just let their cats go out and get pregnant and have 5,000 more kittens and they don't do anything about it. And that's why we're overrun with animals that are getting squished on the roads all the time. I can't handle this shit. It drives me nuts. It breaks my heart. It's like spaying and neutering, which I think some human people should be spayed and neutered sometimes, in my opinion. Which, oh, that'd be terrible. That'd be mean. Well, guess what? If somebody's a rapist killer that's a child molester and, if it was affecting your family, you would agree. I mean, if you don't agree, it hasn't happened to you or anybody you know. So that is my opinion on that one. Sorry, I'm adjusting my heating pad because I'm an old lady, as my daughter reminds me every day. Because my birthday is in a month. She's like, and of course she always spells things out. I didn't say it. I spelled it. I said, I know how to spell, honey. Oh, I love that kid. Obviously, I love her. But
certainly hope so.
The 80s were good years compared to now, in my opinion. Even though there was, miscellaneous crap or whatever, it ain't got nothing on the bullshit of today, in my opinion. Kids can't. There's a dad I saw. He's a dad trying to fight his ex-wife because the wife started turning his son into a girl at 2 years old, and she's fighting to get him sex surgery, and he's 5. What the? I'm sorry. Oh my god. What woman in her freaking right mind? Oh my god, I'm so pissed. I can't even say it right.
There's your answer.
Why the shit would this mother start dressing a 2-year-old boy in girls' clothing? Number one. He didn't say, yo, I want to, yeah. Yes, kids can play with all random toys. Girls, toys. I played with mud, guns, toys, whatever, trucks. I'm not a he, she. I'm a she. I'm all there. But this father has been fighting. His son is like 5 or 6 years old now. He's still fighting. There should not be a freaking fight. Number one, I want to smack the bitch in her head. I'm sorry. Sorry. My daughter's probably. Sorry if I'm saying bad words, funny. Sorry, sweetheart. I want to smack that lady upside her head. If my child would have been a boy and he wanted to play with dolls and shit, that's fine. I'm not going to put him in a fucking dress. I think she just laughed. Sorry. I would not. Hopefully she's laughing at her game. I would not. There's no way in hell. Yeah, there were when I grew up, there was a few people that we knew didn't like people of the opposite sex, boys and girls. We didn't humiliate them. They weren't any different from us. They didn't chop anything off of their bodies and whatever. I have a half sister that's married to a woman. who has children with a man from being married at one point in time. You can change your mind all you want to, but you're not going to chop off parts on your kid that you spit out, whatever it is. I mean, holy crap.
I think where it comes from
Cheese and rice and beans.
is they see people online, they see these videos and stuff, and they say, oh, wow, she's getting all kinds of attention because she's doing this to her kid. I'm going to do this to my kid. You know, and then
I think
maybe
people
they'll
are
get
just
the
messed up in their
attention.
head.
You know?
That'd be like me trying to tell my kid, oh, you're going to be a boy instead of a girl. What the fuck? Sorry. What the fuck? What? Okay, shut the door if you don't want to hear my swear words right now, huh? I'm sorry. She's like, heck, mom, heck, mom. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I agree that it is. People are, I think they're out of their freaking minds. I just think people are out of their mind in general. I don't care if you want to. I don't, maybe she wished she had a girl instead of a boy. Well, guess what? If that's what you want, you now we have the ability to do the in vitro fertilization stuff, and you can pick whatever one egg that you want and put it in there, all you want to, and that way you got it. But guess what? Just because you said you got that girl one in there, guess what? She might like girls too. So, what does it say? I think my grandson's preschool was calling him a girl. They were telling my grandson, what the heck? I would lose my crap. I would lose my crap. Totally would lose my crap. You know, if there's any school professional person, yes, it is. That is exactly right. Parents should be charged with that crap. Exactly. Because and there was one lady was arrested. Oh my gosh, it's not been long ago. She was arrested because she asked a question. Actually, she was sued by a school meeting place or some crap or something like that, because she said that because she asked a question, why about X, Y, or Z it was something about why do you feel a need to she wanted to see the curriculum for the elementary school, including preschool, kindergarten, first, second, third graders, whatever. It all of them said that they included transgender and all these other types of educational classes. It's almost like a sex ed class and shit like that. I'm like, I'm sorry, my 4 or 5-year-old or 6-year-old is not going to hear shit about sex from you, especially. That is a parent's responsibility on how they wish to handle sensitive topics, in my opinion. If I found out somebody said anything whatsoever about any of that crap, oh man, I'd be wearing orange. I would be wearing the orange. And grandson just out of the blue asked me what my pronouns were and asked him what his pronouns were. He said her. Oh, wow. Now, see, I want to know if that is something that is put in someone's head, or if that is, I know a very prominent person that deals with a lot of very celebrity people. I went to school with him, and I knew he liked men at a young age, in high school, in middle school. I knew that about that person. But he's never, he married a man who was not always with just men, because he had a son that when they were married, he had a son from a previous marriage to a woman, obviously. But, that's fine and dandy. They are not trying to change the sex of the son that was already born as a boy. And they were trying to find him a girlfriend. That's what good gay dads do. If you're married, you find your son the girl he wants, or whatever. You don't try and say, no, you gotta find a dude to marry. I'm sorry. Everybody's got their own things, but I'm telling you nowadays, Hell no. Oh my gosh. You have to figure out how to survive this kind of crap, in my opinion. We don't have to worry. I mean, if you stock your food, your water, your extra gasoline, and your supplies, you are 5,000% ahead of the game in general. The only thing we have to fight the most is all this other bull crap of she, whatever crap it is, all the stuff that I can't even comprehend. Because, and you know what? They have, sex ed classes in the schools and this and that. Guess what? If I say my student will not participate in any shape or form of your classes whatsoever, that is my choice as a parent. Nowadays, if I said I'm going to homeschool my child because I don't agree with the curriculum in the school, you can have CPS at your door and all this other BS because you're not following. We need to make sure you're educating your child well enough. It's none of your fucking business, in my opinion. Sorry. But I am the one that decides what my child will learn about and will not learn about and will be taught about. That is my parental job and rights. But no, the GOV has decided that they want to try and interfere with our decision to homeschool kids. More and more people are homeschooling, removing them from the public system, which takes away their federal money, which the GOV highly dislikes. That's why they try and take people's children away from them, because you don't agree with them being taught about being transgender when they're 7 years old. And they don't even know, oh, am I really a boy? So what's going to freaking happen to the world? It's just like that's like if I said, hey, Barry, you know what? You really hate cats, don't you? Oh, and then you're going to be like, oh, maybe I do. Maybe I have to just kill all these cats or something or get rid of them or whatever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. They try to like get their way, no matter who it hurts and whatever way it hurts. Yeah. 36 acres in New Mexico and prepped, just put in solar, got water barren. Yep. I can't use solar if my life depended on it up here. Even though if I had solar panels on the top of my house and all that crap, I might have a little bit of extra solar, but I mean, it's not worth the investment of it. Even a Generac, I mean, in this kind of a place, if I had a house with a yard or whatever, not right in a city crapola place like this, it'd be different. But I'm gonna quit blabbing my face off because these topics are, I think more things to. We can't figure out what the GOV is gonna do at any point in your time. All I know is that families, children, education, young people in general have no clue what the heck is going on. And that is, you can't prepare for that. I'm not, if your kid hears something in school, if they're told something in school, oh, you have to talk a certain way. I've heard some of the best speeches from these young kids that are against what they're being made to do to be socially acceptable in schools or whatever. He's like, why should I have to worry about a person's pronouns when I'm a 7-year-old kid in school and I say something that might offend some general person? Grow a set of balls, you little pussies. I'm sorry. And I'll say that to men, women, all of y'all. Because if you can't handle constructive criticism or someone disagreeing with what you believe in, you do not want to come near me. I'll tell you that right now.
I just wanted to add to that.
Please do.
So I know a man over in the UK who's gay, openly gay.
Hmm?
However, he went to like an open air, like it was a fair,
Hmm?
you know. And the one thing that he was very outspoken about was this transvestite, we'll say, dressed up in a tent and reading those special books for children.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, that tent has been empty for most of the day. He said, as far as I'm concerned, it could stay empty. And they could pack their crap up. That's not what he said. They could pack their crap up and leave. Because as far as I'm concerned, they have no place anywhere. And he said, if you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I'm openly gay. But that right there, no, doesn't fly well.
Yep.
And I mean, to hear somebody from that, yeah, I mean, it's
Someone
like,
that lives that way in their life in general, and they don't agree with all the things that other people do. That is exactly how it is. I have, multiple people that I know that are that way, but you know what? They are. There's a difference between, the way that people are in very different walks of life. That is fine. I don't care what you want to do in the world as long as you don't hurt anybody else in the meantime. If you don't interfere with other people leading their lives in whatever way, I don't care as long as you're not a dill hole. Thanks, Margaret. Yeah. Anything to make people dislike each other and cause chaos in this world is what the government loves. They love it. Oh, I don't like Barry anymore because he lives in Kentucky and I can't like people in Kentucky. Maybe that's going to be the new thing or some shit. I don't know. All I know is that is not right. That is just starting crap. It's like, oh, we're going to have drag queen bingo at the elementary school fair. Hell no, you're not. Hell no, you're not. Because if I check your equipment with my hand, if I check under your dress and find your equipment is not exactly what you look like, I am gonna take you out, dude. I swear. I'm sorry, but kids have a hard enough time as it is because they have parents that don't give a crap about them. They are not involved in their life. They're not involved and there's even kids that get bullied. I tell you what, if I had a kid that was a bully, that kid would have no butt left if I found out that they were being a bully to someone. And guess what? They would be going through basic training every single day of their life until they were 18. And if CPS wanted that little bratty ass kid, punk, that wouldn't follow and change his ways, guess what? I would let him go to foster care because he would be tortured. That's what happens to kids that get put in those places. They get raped, tortured, abused, and lose their lives even because they're taken from their parents illegally to get federal funding money. And I'm sure I might have some COPs or some FBIs or CIAs or whatever other letters in the GOVs at my door wanting to know why I talk about certain topics on platforms like this one. And that's because I can. And I don't shut up very easily. In fact, I probably won't shut up until I'm dead. But not everybody feels that way about things. You can only help certain people so much. I've tried to help numerous people with all things. I used to support, when I had a lot more funding available to myself, I used to support a lot of nonprofits. But when they're supposedly nonprofits, but when I see that some of the profits are not always on the up and up, in my opinion, I'm sorry, you don't have to have an extravagant party with alcoholic drinks and fancy dinners and stuff that you use donation money or funds raised to throw this party so that you can dress up and grant a couple wishes to some ill children. I'm sorry. Guess what? Have a freaking picnic out back with some shorts and a jumpy thing or whatever. Guess what? Kids that are less than 5 or 6 years old shouldn't have cancer in the freaking first place, so figure that out. Instead of worrying about people donating money, to send these kids with cancer and stuff. You going to bed, baby? I'm sorry. Okay. Love you. All right. God bless you. Sweet dreams. Barry said goodnight. And his kitty cats. And, but that pisses me off because I mean, I donated thousands of dollars a year, and it wasn't always just money. It was I'm a deal seeker. If you know I find brand new items for pennies on the dollar, and I put baskets together, and I raise thousands and thousands of dollars every single year for these organizations until I had to stop because I did not see my efforts going to good use. All I saw was these administrative people having free lunches, free dinners, traveling, going places, doing this and that, having a ball, and an alcohol open bar or whatever stuff was going on. My money is not going to where it should be going. And I know that you're not getting your free event things without, you're using money for all this other stuff. That is not needed. If you want to help a kid with cancer, help them get things like what I did for my daughter when I healed her from her autism when she was young. She's not totally healed. She never will be, unfortunately. But guess what? I was gifted a hyperbaric chamber therapy of $1,000 from a family I helped with their son who had, he wasn't diagnosed with autism yet. But I said, why is he having such a fit, and why does he want to, he was eating grapes constantly. I said, she's like, yeah, he said he screams, he's just banging on the fridge all the time. He wants fruit, he wants grapes, that's all he wants to eat. Well, he had a really bad reaction, of course, and I said he has gut issues. I said he has autism spectrum issues, because I was working in naturopath at that time. And I said, this is what I think. I said, how about you talk to your whatever professional that you want to talk to about it? And she's like, oh my gosh. She said, you were so right. She said, he does have a gut issue, and he had all these other things that I was saying. She's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did not notice that. And I said, most parents wouldn't think about it, so I want to have grapes every day. No big deal, right? Well, anyhow, that person is the one that gifted us with, we spent 40 days in a row doing hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy. I was up at 5 o'clock every morning. We went and did that. I dropped her off at school, picked her up, came home, ate, went to bed, did it back and forth. I tell you what, best thing ever, one of them. But that was a whole off-topic thing. But people in general, ugh, I don't know. We cannot help people that they're so set in their ways that they cannot agree to disagree about whatever it is. They just there's certain people that have to always be right, or, whatever you say sucks, and the way you talk is crappy, or whatever comments people want to say. You're not hurting my feelings. It's like that. Though the one person pissed me off. It was like, oh, I'm going to hunt you down, find out where you live. And I was like, that's the wrong fucking thing to say to me. But that's the only one that really made me mad. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, I like being on here. I like the majority, 99.9% of the people that I interact with. People just don't want to be flexible in any way, shape, or form, which we had no choice as kids growing up. You didn't have a choice to be you were flexible, and if you weren't, you were going to lose your butt. Literally. And your parents weren't going to go to jail because they threatened to take away your toy or whatever. It's like kids calling the cops. Oh, my parent took away my iPhone. Oh my God, my kid would be dead. It's like, who would do that? So yeah, I mean, the 80s were great years, I have to say. They were way better than what we got nowadays, I tell you. And I wish that God would have gave me my daughter when I was much younger, and so she could have grown up in different times before she got poisoned to death with all the vaccines, and all the vaccines that I poisoned her with from my military vaccinations that don't even exist anymore. the names of the items that are in my DNA that are in my daughter's DNA do not exist. So what's that tell you? I'm sure the GOV caught that. Did you catch that? Come get me.
Oh, I'm sure they did. My phone lit up.
I have zero cares in the world about that. I mean, I have no cares in the world about that.
I feel like I should just
What's that?
prove that it happens. I'm gonna hold my phone.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
I'll just hold it up while we're talking. So,
Oh, yours goes
carry
on and
on.
off all the time.
Yeah,
See,
carry
mine
on.
doesn't do that. Your phone type does because, yeah, your phone comes on randomly.
Mhm.
I miss the
But
landline phones where you could slam it down when you were pissed off.
I know.
Bring those back. Yes, go West, you are correct. I was a guinea pig where my basic training was at Fort McClellan, Alabama. Fort McClellan, Alabama does not exist anymore, and 99% of the people who, see? Did you get to that? 90% of the people that were there are dead. I mean, 99% of the people have been poisoned. There are a lot of people that I know that trained there, served there, and the fact that it no longer exists, kind of like Camp Lejeune, uh, can't, I am in that bunch, which that pisses me off even more. The fact that they know that I served at Fort McClellan, Alabama, and it's a chemical battalion, and they poisoned the shit out of me, and I developed cancers when I was 18 and 19 years old, and losing body parts left and right all the time. That makes me really angry still, and I just don't have it in me to fight another fight until I make sure that my daughter's fighting stuff is done, which is not done because she's 20 plus, almost 21 years old, and I have constant crap. Oh, we're cutting our benefits off because of this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna. Oh, you got to fill out these forms every 5 freaking minutes. It's bullshit. I don't need to prove shit to anybody. I'm just like this. That's what I feel like doing to everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna quit blabbing because it's been 2.5 hours. I'm blabbing, and I have a busy weekend before the busy week coming up. But thanks for being here, Barry, and everybody else who's hanging out, watching anything. But the GOV, the COPs, anybody else, whatever, whoever else is listening to what I have to say. If you don't like it, tough shit. If you do, that's okay. But yeah. So I think that we have. I mean, to me, Red Dawn movie is nothing compared to what we got going on right now. So I can't tell anybody how to prepare for any of that crap because I don't think that the average person, like I said, thousands of people living around me and they piss and moan because the water got shut off. And what do I do? What do I do? Holy crap. If you can't handle that, you're not going to survive for 5 minutes. That's all I know. I have no idea. So common sense is no longer a thing like when we grew up. It's like, oh, don't talk to strangers. Oh, let me be on TikTok and send my email out, my address and my phone number and everything else online.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Oh my gosh. So,
No.
all right.
We can't do the thinking further on the show. We have to just let them find out the hard way.
Well, it's fine if they're natural thinking people, but if they are a disabled person, like my young adult, that's the only reason I give a shit. Thank you, Mary. Have a good weekend, honey. Thanks for
See you, Mary Miles.
Yeah, but yeah. So everybody take care. I'll post more videos and things, but some of them do fine. Some people, they don't. Whatever. I can only do what I can do. I'm not gonna make everybody happy, and I appreciate the people that are around and that do contribute in a positive manner in some way, shape, or form on my channel. If you don't want to be that way, then you don't have to be on my channel. I prefer
And if
people.
you haven't done it, hit that like button. It helps your algorithm.
Yeah, if you would. If you don't, that's fine too.
Come on.
So,
Who can't like her?
oh, please, come on.
Well, the
Let me
government.
see. The GOV doesn't like me.
Oh, well.
So,
Have fun.
all right. But y'all take care. And we'll see. I haven't scheduled any other lives for right now, but we'll see if we come up with anything else. Because I can't help. I see dumb people. That phrase that they use now, instead of dead people, I see dumb people. Yeah, but I do what I do. But hopefully y'all can do all the things. Thanks for being here and hanging out. Love y'all. God bless. Keep prepping up. If you find any deals, stock them up if you can. If I find stuff for less than $1, I'm buying everything that I normally get. I'm doing what I can. I am not. I'm just
Prep like something's going to happen tomorrow because it just
prep like
might.
your ass depends on it, pretty much, or staying alive or feeding yourself or your family, pretty much, in my opinion. So thank you for that one, Barry. So, all right, y'all take care. I'll talk to you again real soon. Okay.
Bye,
Love
y'all.
you. Bye.